Ergosphere Project Breakdown Part 3. Today, I'm talking about basically the changes I made to Moment's part. The composition was done by Moment. It sounds great, but the mixing, as you're going to hear because I found the original file, wasn't as great. So I needed to go in, make some changes, and beef some stuff up. And then afterward, Denpelm also needed to go back and change some things. So this, I would argue, was the most collaborative part of the song, where 3 people worked on it, which didn't really happen anywhere else. Yes, this is exactly what I got sent. And then I got sent all the stems for it. Man, this part's so well composed. So, for context as to why I'm like, man, that's so cool. Moment's my age, and was like radio silent for the first 3 weeks of the month. I got nothing from them, and I was really bored in math class. I was starting to get anxious. We didn't know what to do following this drop, and so I just messaged Moment. I was like, hey, are you still like planning on contributing anything? It's totally fine to say no, you know. And Moment was like, yeah, I'm trying, but I've been busy with coding and all this stuff. And it was just a chill, like, it was a really nice conversation. But a couple days later, he sent us that, and I was like, this could work. This is so cool. This is so necessary. And the composition is fantastic. But it did need a lot of work. Like, the low end was kind of a mess. There were 3 bass stems that I was sent. They're taken out of this project file because I replaced them with my own. And there was, like, no high end. It was hard to sort of discern what instruments to listen to. There was a lot of, like, clutter. And so that's why I wanted to go and fix it up. But in terms of, like, the composition, the idea of it, and the purpose that it serves in the track, I love this part so much. And then I didn't have to do a lot, honestly. So I'll just play how it is right now. Denpelm made changes to it afterward, but I'm going to play how it is in my project file. that transition that you hear in the final song used to not be there. I'm so glad Denpelm added it, but it used to not be there, which is what's going on there. So that's not an important notification that I just got. This one's going to be kind of a harder one to talk about than the other two, because the other two I was just kind of like, here's my project file, here's what's in it. But in this one, I have to sort of like, here's 40 stems I was sent by someone, and then how I like changed it. And I also kind of have to try to explain what was going through Moment's head. First off, I think Moment just kind of had good ideas and wrote down those good ideas. Moment has very good musical intuition from what I've seen on their SoundCloud page, which is something that I look up to a lot and I'm trying to work on. Especially since when I look at the MIDI, it's kind of a mess. Like, there's notes everywhere on this MIDI. So that's what tells me, like, Moment was just kind of like, I have this melody idea and I'm going to try to put it down somehow. And it's split between a bunch of things. So this right here is the actual melody of it. Then it switches to the guitar, which I don't actually know where to find. Oh, here. Right. But also in this section, they added this piano, which is kind of carrying the empty space. And so what I tried to do is I tried to make these take similar places in the spectrum, but not fight for the same spot. And then there's just a lot of background elements. And then there's these strings, and these strings are, like, beautiful. Right? And so then all together, without my stuff, you get... And then I added this bass, and then I also added these chords. Literally the only two things in my part here are everything else Moment did. And in the final song, you'll hear that this sounds way better. I can't tell you what Denpelm did. I just know that it sounds better, and he did something. He, in general, did a fantastic job with the mixdown on this. I was really impressed with the speed at which he did it and the quality. So I added two things. They are this. They're this. This is just a saw wave pluck. And this macro is modulating the low pass. And then there's this. That's the one that's used in the first part. And then there's this. This macro is interesting. It's actually modulating... What is it modulating? Okay, yeah, so I have this macro opening it up so that the low pass is at a higher spot, basically. That's the thing I'm modulating. I don't know what macro 1 is. It's not even doing anything. I don't think I'm modulating it, but it's there. And so the reason that I open the low pass is because then I can do this kind of shaping that you hear here. Right, and then in context you get... And then the last thing I did here is this square riser. Wrong macro. And it's the same as the one in the first drop, just with more unison. And then there's also this riser, which is just a saw wave. You can tell that for these parts, because we needed context, we were not working with finished versions of any of these. Even like this. I think this still has the... Yeah! After the song is done, there used to be this, like, minute-long cello solo. You know what? Hold on. I'll give you guys context. And so the song ends here normally, but there used to be this. Yeah, I don't know, moment. I also think this is this. Yeah, okay, this is, oh no, this is what I'm looking for. This is an old version of this drop, right? Yeah, okay. This isn't much different, but... This is just a little more behind the scenes of like how we were working, the kinds of things that we were working with. In general for this, we kind of just had to trust the process. Like, I hate this mix down here, and it kind of gets worse. Yeah, like, that's horrible. And then this. Like, what happened to the high end here? You know? And so... This song was a lot of just like praying that something will end up going right with every section. And we got pretty lucky, and we knew what we were doing, so it did. But it was definitely anxiety inducing.